Hey guys, it's your boy Reddit Ed and welcome back to a brand new video. Now I know some people on the channel really seem to like these collection videos, so I figured I'd share another one on a console that I got not too long ago and I've slowly been building on my collection, but it still has a long ways to go. And that video I'm talking about is PlayStation 1 video game collection. So next to me here I got a stack of about 10 PlayStation 1 games that I'm going to talk about on the channel with you guys. Now some of these games I have not played. I picked them up just for the sole purpose of me playing for the first time. And some of these games I have played that were a part of my childhood and I wanted to get just because they're a part of my childhood. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's just hop into the video. Coming in at the first game on the PlayStation 1 that I got is Ape Escape. Now I remember seeing Ape Escape advertisement and commercials all the time because there's several games within the Ape Escape series. I never played it, but I remember I always wanted to play the Ape Escape games growing up as a kid. Never thought about buying them. It's funny how when you're a kid and you're like, oh, I want to play that game, but you don't take those necessary steps to obtain the game, whether it's through allowance or asking for it for Christmas or whatnot. You just think about other games that you either already have or you just see something cooler and it gets your attention more than what the other game did. And Ape Escape was just one of those for me. I don't know why. I think I paid $30 for it. Here's what it looks like on the inside, the manual and the disc there. I did get my PlayStation original, I want to say sometime last year, and I've been going through and trying to find some games again from my childhood and just some games that I want to play, period. And this was one of them, so I'm really excited that I got to pick it up and play it. So I'm reading on the back here and it says this is the first and only game that takes full advantage of the dual shock analog controller. You go around, you collect a bunch of monkeys. Okay, seems self-explanatory. All right, so this next one on the list is one I tried to get like the remake of and I had no luck with it, but I just got lucky and ran across this and I just bought it. Chrono Cross. I believe there is a Chrono Cross remake out there. I think it's on the Switch. It might be that or it might be Chrono Trigger. Or is it Chrono Cross? All I know is that I remember I really wanted to play this game. This kind of goes in with me wanting to expand in my horizon of video games and wanting to play games that I've either been too chicken shit to play, and this was one of those games. And I didn't realize until I picked it up that it contains 2 discs, so I'm guessing it must be like a really big game. And if that's the case, that's totally fine with me. I don't care. I know they had to do this with several games like the Final Fantasy VII. Metal Gear Solid has, the first one at least, has 2 discs to it. Sometimes when the games have a lot of space or when the games are really big and they can't fit on 1 disc, I guess the developers have to put it on 2 different discs, which is not a big deal. Well, would you look at that? This game takes place 12 years after the events of Chrono Trigger. So I'm actually really happy I was able to pick this up and I'm going to dive into it and play it. I hope this isn't one of those cases to where if I play this, I'm going to be so confused if I did not play Chrono Trigger. And if it is, that's going to suck. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up and I'm going to show you guys the inside. There goes disc 1 with the manual right there. And then I'm going to close that and open up disc 2. And there goes disc 2 of Chrono Cross right there for y'all. And I got this once again at another convention. A lot of these games I bought at conventions, believe it or not. I'm just gonna say it. All these games I bought at conventions or retro game stores. This one needs no introduction. I've talked about it so many damn times on this channel, but it's Crash Bandicoot 2 Wrath of Cortex. I don't know what y'all thought if I was finna get a PlayStation 1 and not pick up the GOAT. I've talked about it on the channel so many times. It's the first game I ever beat. It's my favorite Crash Bandicoot game within the franchise. I love this game. Thing on the inside where it talks about a little promo for Crash Bandicoot Warped, which is the 3rd game. There goes the disc right there. When I had my original copy of Crash Bandicoot 2, whenever I open it up, I would look at this pamphlet and it would say, "Get warped." So the next one on the list is a series that I have heard of. I think one of my favorite YouTubers slash streamers talked about it like years ago when I was a kid, and my best friend even talked about it too. And I had to pick it up when I saw it, and that is Dino Crisis. It's by the same people that made Resident Evil, and I heard it's a little bit more challenging than Resident Evil. I don't know, it looks really cool. I've heard so many good things about it. I believe the YouTuber that talked about it was Vash12349. He's an OG YouTuber. I watched him since I was like a kid, and I watch his streams every now and then, and he's still going. And I think RMP Kapachi, who was another YouTuber and streamer from back in the day that I used to watch, he talked about it as well, but I know Vash for sure talked about Dino Crisis. And again, my best friend, he talked about Dino Crisis 2, saying it's a really good game, it's hard, and I had to pick it up. And I think what's really cool about it is that it comes with a bonus disc, bonus demo disc for Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. There goes a little pamphlet right there, along with the Dino Crisis disc, and then underneath the Dino Crisis disc here is the... Oh, you know what? I lied. Hold on, it's not here. Here it is. It's... Okay. It's back here. Here we go. Okay, I found it. It's like a secret compartment. Here we go. Okay, I gotta open it like this. Oh, wow. Oh, that is sick. Flip it open like that. There goes another little thing, like a little art book kind of thing for Dino Crisis. But then there's the disc for Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I was starting to get a little worried at first because I was like, the guy that I bought this from, I've bought quite a few retro games from him because he's always got some cool stuff. And I was worried. I'm like, no, he did not jip me off. Again, I've never played any of the Dino Crisis games. I'm super excited to dive in and play this game in particular. All right, so next up on the list is a game that I personally never played. I just only got it because my wife talked about how much she played it, and that is Gex. So my wife played Gex on the, I think it was the Nintendo 64. We have a Nintendo 64 and I was trying to find it, but I found it on the PlayStation and I was like, well, it's still Gex either way it goes. So I bought it, and I know there's, I believe, 3 games within Gex. There it is with the manual on the case. Flip it over there, you can see the back. I think from what I remembered, it's about this gecko named Gex who gets sucked into a TV and he has to work his way through different channels that are levels and complete missions, puzzles, boss fights. I believe that's the kind of vibe that I got from it. Played a little bit of it, but my wife was really playing it when I first got it. She was so geeked, I like hooked up the PlayStation in the living room and we just played it for like a couple hours. I don't know if that's a game that I will be trying to play like anytime soon, but I'm just glad I have it so that way if my wife wants to pick it back up and play it, she can play it, or if I got the
itching for some Gex.
Oh god, that was so cringy. So next one was one that I immediately had to cop when I saw it. There was no questions asked. This was coming home with your boy, Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation. Y'all know the vibes. This was coming home with your boy. Now, I have played some of the Metal Gear Solid games growing up. My best friend who is obsessed with this series kind of filled me in on some of the games and just kind of has always been telling me about the lore. I used to watch him play Metal Gear Solid all the time. He's beaten it countless times on all the difficulties. This front here where you get the manual and God, you get the manual and you get the disc right there. And then I'm gonna flip it over here. And then here is disc. Yeah, okay, disc 2. I always found Metal Gear Solid as a kid to be really challenging. At first, I really didn't understand the excitement of Metal Gear Solid, nor did I understand like anything about the game that made me want to pick it up and play it. And I believe the only reason why I gravitated towards Metal Gear Rising Vengeance was because you're playing as Raiden, who has all these really cybernetic gadgets and weapons, and it's more futuristic and it's badass and cool. And there's so many things within Metal Gear Solid that I'm still trying to like wrap my mind around. I feel like Metal Gear Solid, if you like the series or if you're just a person that loves collecting video games, this is a game I feel like all retro game owners have in their collection. And I got the game honestly for that sole purpose, and also so I can play the game. So this next one I'm going to show off is honestly random. Powerpuff Girls Chemical Extraction. I don't even know how to describe it. It's when you want something random and you're like, oh yeah, I remember watching this show when I was a kid on Cartoon Network. This was one of those times, and I only paid, I think, $10 for it. I think I bought this at a convention. I don't remember where exactly I bought it. It looks so weird, like 3D wise. Like it's kind of hard to see, but if you can see that, they look like they have like the head of like a balloon. I don't know. It's one of those things to where it was like back in the day when you have 3D games off a 2D animated series and they just look really wonky and weird. The Powerpuff Girls was a part of my childhood. I loved this show on Cartoon Network. I watched it. This would be a nice addition to my PlayStation collection. Put the two together and there you go. And then it does have the disc here as well. I'm gonna show that off to you guys. Boom, boom, bap. So this next one was one that I've played bits and pieces of, but this honestly came from my wife's collection. Tomb Raider: The Lost Revelations. I remember we were at her mom's place. We were, I guess, looking for some stuff, and she found like this treasure chest filled with a bunch of stuff from her childhood, and there was a lot of games from when her and her siblings used to play when she was kids. And I remember she told me she had an original PlayStation and she grew up playing Tomb Raider. She's actually played and beaten a couple of the Tomb Raider games. I've never beaten beaten any of the Tomb Raider games. This was one from her childhood that she wanted to take home. This is around the time we got our PlayStation as well. Like, I think this is when I just bought the PlayStation 1. She was like, oh no, we're taking this home. I'm firing it up. We're going to play it. And then I played a little bit of it too. I'll have to try and find a cover for it, or I might honestly just kind of keep it like this just because of the aesthetic. I think it looks cool without the manual and all that, but I'm weird. I like to have manuals for things, so I probably will try and find like a manual or something or whatever for it. And last but not least, again, this was just a game, another one of those random gamble games that I just wanted to pick up, and it's Q*bert. I couldn't get the sticky stuff off, and yeah, you're gonna see the price tag on it. I paid $10 for it. There it is right there. What do you want me to say? It's Q*bert. What do you want me to say about it?
Oh man, I really had an itching to play Q*bert.
If I was getting a PlayStation, you know, I had to put Q*bert in it.
No! Q*bert's probably going to be the last game I'll ever play in my collection. I have no desire to play Q*bert. I don't even want to look at Q*bert. Q*bert. I remember also Q*bert in Family Guy skit and just thinking how random that was. And then again, like I said, I remember seeing Q*bert in Wreck-It Ralph. I don't even know what that is, but then people told me, oh, Q*bert is a character. It's an old game character. I guess it's during that Atari time, because I see a manual in here kind of showcasing other Atari games like Missile Command, Pong. I played Pong, and then the next Tetris. So there's that manual there. Then there's a disc for Q*bert on the inside. I know for a fact I have played Pong, and I think I have played Missile Command. It's Q*bert. But alrighty guys, that concludes the video for my PlayStation original game collection. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, dislike if it didn't, subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. Don't forget to hit the bell to get notified whenever your boy uploads future videos on this channel. And if you want to connect with me, hit up my links to my social media accounts as well as my second channel, all in the links in the description below. And if you've played any of these PlayStation games, or if you have a PlayStation collection at home, let me know down what are your favorite PlayStation games, or again, if you saw a game that you liked from my collection that I showed off and you want to tell me about it, let me know down in the comment section below. Alrighty guys, thank you for tuning in for the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. I am Rated Ed, and I am out of here.